Well, hey there, YouTube. Matt M. Roy back again. This is going to be a quick review of my new Dell Latitude e6510. You guys saw this computer if you saw my video yesterday. Pickups from February, see, that would be the 23rd. This is going to be a quick review. I'll tell you a little bit of what I'm deciding to do with this. And without further ado, let's get started. Again, this is a Latitude e6510. It is running Windows 7 right now. You can see I'm actually installing some updates. Let's go into Properties, and I'll show you guys exactly what this computer has in it for specs. It has a Intel Core i5 M520 CPU running at 2.4 gigahertz native. I heard this will turbo cache up to 3 gigahertz though when the power is needed. 4 gigabytes of RAM. I'll go into the Windows experience. You can see that the processor gets a 6.8, memory of 5.9. The graphics get a 5.0 and a 5.9. And the hard drive, of course, gets a 5.9. The only thing I have done with this so far is I did replace the hard drive. It came with a very slow and very worn out 250 gigabyte Seagate drive, which, let me see if I have it here. This is it right here. It's a Seagate Momentous 7200 RPM drive, 250 gigabytes. It was very slow and very noisy. Sorry about the interruption, guys. My cat was howling in the background. I want to make sure he was okay. So let's get back to this. The graphics are fairly good in here, and I'll show you what card it is. Remember, this is a business class laptop, so it's going to have a business class pretty much everything. And the video card is no exception. It is an NVIDIA NVS 3100M card. This is a Quadra card. It has 512 megabytes of dedicated video memory, and of course you can see it shares 1,754 megabytes for the system, so it gives you a total of 2,266 megabytes. So not a bad video card, especially for a laptop. So I'll go over some of the features and the ports on this. Up here you can see your regular power button. This is a power button, I believe, for the internal smart card reader. This will actually give you access to it, but because it's not installed on this particular laptop, this pretty much does nothing. See your various array of lights. You have a hard drive, battery light, Wi-Fi, which of course is on right now, Bluetooth light, which I'm not sure if it has Bluetooth installed on this, and a 3G light, which I know is not installed. The 3G card is not installed on this computer. Very nice keyboard. It has the regular trackpad, which I really like. It's in good shape. It's not too worn. It has a little shiny spot there, but nothing major. And being a business class laptop, you also have the track point, which, as you can see, does function. You can see that going around there. I never could get used to these. I know a lot of my subscribers actually like these on their business class systems, but I'm clumsy with my fingers, so I can never really get used to that. So, of course, what I'm going to be using is this Microsoft Mobile Mouse 4000 series, which is one of my favorites. I'll probably talk about that in another video. Like I said, keyboard's in good shape, not too much wear on there. It's a little shiny in places, but nothing major. This has seen moderate use over its life. On the front here, pretty much all you have is the bracket for closing the screen. This does stick once in a while. I'm thinking about maybe shooting some WD-40 in there, just to lubricate a little bit so it doesn't stick. It does have the two little pins here, and it seems to be an okay design. I really prefer the ones that just have one center pin, because if you shut this and you don't align it exactly right, you can very easily bend one of these. So just a quirk of mine. I prefer it the other way. As you can see, it's got the Core i5 and is made for Windows 7. If you turn to the right side of this laptop, and I'm going to have to turn the light on here so you guys can actually see what I'm doing, we have the PC card. I think this is an Express card. Pretty much not used anymore, but I guess because of the business class system, they wanted to keep as many legacy ports in here as they could. Dual layer DVD burner, very nice to have, works flawlessly. Up here we have the SD card reader, which is right here. This is your wireless on and off switch. Firewire 1394 port, which will come in really handy, especially if I'm using my older mini DV or digital 8 camcorders like this one right here. Your headphone microphone port. 2 USB 2.0 ports. This is a little too old for having 3.0. It's about a year or two old for that. Turning to the back here, you can see we have a modem port that is not used. We have your 10-100 1000 gigabit Ethernet port. This is where the battery goes. The battery is in moderate condition. I think I'm going to try to use Dell's battery refresh software and see if I can get this back up to par. Seems to hold a good charge, but if you go into the BIOS, it reads this as a moderate health battery. Over here we have the standard VGA port, and then of course your Dell power port, which is pretty much standard. I'm actually using a power supply that came from an old Dell Inspiron 6000 series system. They never really changed those power adapters. And coming over to the other side, that's really interesting. It has an SD card reader here, so I guess it has one on both sides, but this looks like the correct one to use. It's nice to have, especially because I use so many different digital cameras. I like to be able to just put the SD card in there and go. This is the hard drive cage. Very easy to get to, just 4 screws on the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Yep, you got 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And you can change that right out. This one is the optional smart card reader. Again, this does not have that installed because I guess whoever had it for the business just wasn't going to use that feature. I don't care. I probably never will. Just ventilation here. This does run fairly cool because it is an i5. It's not like my other i7, which I had to have on a chill pad all the time or it would literally cook itself. Display port. Now, I was really disappointed. I wish this was an HDMI port, but I do know that you can buy cables on eBay that go from the display port to HDMI, so I'll probably just wind up doing that. And last but not least, you have 2 more USB 2.0 ports, and the bottom one right there, I believe, is an eSATA USB combo port. And the one last thing I forgot to show you, this model does have the built-in webcam, of which I have not actually tested yet. I mean, it looks to be in good shape, but you never know. Alright, so I'm coming to the part that you've probably been waiting for. What did I actually pay for this? Well, I got it off of Craigslist, and I wound up giving $70 for it. That's right, 70 bucks. Now, it did not come with the charger. The gentleman the story is he had gotten a new laptop for his birthday, and he had lost the charger to this about 2-3 months earlier, and he was bumming his roommate's charger off. So, all in all, not a bad system. Well, that's going to conclude the quick review of the Dell Latitude e6510. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please remember to like and subscribe. And as always, have a blessed day, everybody.